Hi everyone, so today I'm going to do a demonstration on classic eyelashes. I haven't done one of these yet. I get asked loads about classic eyelash styling because I put so many videos on about Russians and wispy Russians and things like that. So I'm going to bring it right back to the basics today and I'm going to talk about classics. Now, I always get asked as well, what products am I using? So I'm just going to put it out there on this one. I've got some classic lashes here. These are lashes by Jodie. This is somebody that I've actually met on Instagram and we are Instagrammy lash techie friends now. So that's really lovely. She's got a full line. She's just released. So yeah, lashes by Jodie. I use Extreme Plus glue from Lash Base. I love this. I love this glue. Since I found this glue, I've not gone back to any other glue. The retention for my clients is pretty amazing. And the tweezers that I'm going to use, obviously classic tweezers and isolation. These are Loft Lashes tweezers. These were my sample ones. These are launching very soon once I can get my delivery out of the manufacturer, which is obviously a problem right now. But yeah, so I haven't launched these yet. So as we know, classic lashes sit 1-to-1 natural eyelash. Now, if your client has got slightly sparser lashes and doesn't want to go into Russian volumes just yet, or they just prefer the classic look, then what you would need to do is keep the length very similar throughout the set. Now, I get asked a lot about creating wispy lashes with classics. Now, you can do it to an extent, but if we see here, it's the front visual that you see with classics. So you create massive gaps. Even though we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in this section, it looks like we've only got 2. And we've actually exaggerated gaps between eyelashes when you bring the length up too much. So the trick with classic lashes is to keep them as similar in length as you possibly can to keep this section nice and tight. And the tighter they are together, and the more similar in length, the fuller they are going to look. So I'm just going to explain how we can go about creating more of a fluffier version of classic lashes, because sometimes they are a little bit sparse and a little bit spiky if your client hasn't got a great deal of natural lashes. So here's an example of how we can break our sections up to make them a little bit more fluffy without going too spiky and creating massive gaps between those lashes. So we can have a section here of 10, and then I'm going to put this section here of 10s and 11s instead of just 10 or just 11. And then in this section here, we're going to blend it through with 10 and 12. So it's good and totally random. You could put 11, 11, 12, 12, 11, 12, you know, there's no rhyme or reason. It just 11s and 12s. And then again here, 12s and 13s. So you start to get a bit of an up and down, but you're still keeping those lengths really tight together. It almost mimics these natural lashes. You can see where they do go slightly up and down by about 1 millimeter. And then you have a seamless blend throughout, depending on what look you're trying to create. So on this one, I've got the longest length in the middle. I'm going to do more of an open eye because I'm going to keep that quite tight, that longest length just there. I'm not going to go too wide to create a doll. So here we go. I filled most of it in. So to keep it really simple for myself, the first row I did the shortest lengths in each section. And then when I go back, the second row, I did the longest length and then the shorter and then the longer all the way through. So my girl, unfortunately, hasn't got loads of natural lashes here, but you can see that that top line follows a nice, neat curvature. If she had 50 million eyelashes, you could definitely start putting longer ones in between and it would look great. But when your client hasn't got loads and loads and loads of natural lashes, then keeping the lengths fairly similar to each other is your way forward for keeping them nice and full, or as full as you can get them. And again, not going too long against what they've naturally got. And the last point that I always try to make is if in, say, this section you come across a natural hair that definitely can't take it, then absolutely put in 9, 10, 11, whatever it needs to take. Don't overload anything too small in areas that you're putting longer lashes. So I hope that's helpful anyway, splitting each section into 2 lengths just to create a bit of a fluffier top line for your classics rather than just that boring top line which we always try to avoid.